Hi Virgo, and welcome to your weekly love reading. So what's going to happen this week in terms of love? The Fool in reverse, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Cups in reverse, the Magician in reverse, and the Four of Pentacles. So how's this person feeling? What do they want you to know right now? This person is afraid of taking a leap of faith. They're afraid of committing 100%. They're afraid of revealing their true self 100%. I feel like this person has a lot of secret thoughts and feelings. They're fear-based ones. I feel like they're on the fence about the connection. They may go through different phases where they feel much more sure about the connection and they feel this peace of mind, but then their mind comes back in and they're feeling very confused, very fearful, afraid of getting hurt, afraid that this is toxic. They may be creating these criticisms of you in their mind as a subconscious way of justifying them taking space, you know, finding fault as a subconscious way of running away from being open and vulnerable. So the Five of Pentacles in reverse. They may be feeling like you're going through a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and they want to help you, but it's like they're feeling emotionally all over the place. They're not sure if they can help you in the way that you need. Knight of Cups in reverse. So this is like them. I feel it's like them being in and out of your life, or one minute they're on the fence and they're uncertain, the next they are certain, or the next they may be running away. So, you know, there's this back and forth energy. Magician in reverse. There is a sense of manipulation or trickery here. Like they may be holding on to your connection, but at the same time they're holding on to their comfort zone. They want to be with you, but they don't feel like safe in certain ways, or there may be certain things about you or the connection that they're not completely happy about. It may be causing them to be triggered a lot, and maybe they're feeling exhausted by that, and so they're wanting to kind of hold back. I feel like they have some resentment. It's like they may be blaming you for how they feel sometimes, which isn't really fair, but it's indicating that they may have unrealistic expectations of you or of a relationship. And so it's like deep down they're kind of keeping this gap between you. Maybe very frustrating for you because you're wanting them to get close, you're wanting that emotional intimacy, and they're closing up on you. This falseness is like maybe they're wearing a mask, maybe they're making out on the surface that everything's fine, but they're keeping their cards close to their chest. They're not really expressing their doubts or their fears, maybe not even expressing their love. Let's pull some clarifying cards. All of the message cards in today's reading are my own creation. What do they want you to know? So they may not want you to know their doubts, their fears. Interesting, we have the Justice card, which says we reap what we sow, number 11. So they may be looking inwards, they may be looking at the problems that you're both going through and asking themselves, why are they attracting this? Why are these difficulties happening? So there is an element of that within this person, an element of realization about the law of attraction, but at the same time sometimes they get lost And I feel like they're blaming you because they're making you responsible for their emotions and how they feel. Take this however it resonates. It could be like vice versa. It could be I'm explaining how you're feeling. But in some cases it is the other person. Yeah, we have the Four of Pentacles again. I can't let you go. So it's like they can't let you go, but at the same time they don't feel like it's safe to fully be open and vulnerable and dive headfirst into the connection and commit 100%. This person may have a tendency to get lost in daydreaming, or they may be someone that has the tendency to see the grass is greener on the other side as a subconscious form of escapism if they feel like things are getting too intense between you both and they feel like they're losing themselves. They're afraid of losing themselves. Interestingly, we have the Fool again, but it's an upright, so I'm going for it. Again, I feel like there's times where they are very romantic. They do come forward, they feel secure in the moment, and they're like, yes, I'm going to commit to you, I'm going to commit to this relationship. And then it's like some trigger happens again, and then they're back to like, I don't know, I have to just pretend for now that I'm okay on the surface, but deep down I'm really unsure, or I'm feeling resentment. But it's like, maybe they feel like, I know this would trigger some of you, maybe they feel like you're too clingy in certain ways, so they're trying to get space at times. But overall they do want to heal the connection, they want to heal the problems, they want to come out of the adversity, they want harmony and peace. We have, I see everything so clearly now. The High Priestess. So yeah, there's been a lot of illusions coming up within the connection, a lot of fears, and this triggering is helping you both to have those awakenings, which in the long run is strengthening your connection. But yeah, someone's feeling very weighed down, they can't see clearly, and it may be making the other person feel neglected, because this person is very bogged down. All they can focus on is these issues that are going on with them as an individual. The other person's feeling kind of left out in the cold. So let's look at some more messages cards. What do they really want you to know? We're going to start off by looking at the Our Eternal Love cards, followed by the I Love You to the Moon and Back deck, and the messages from the Divine Masculine deck. And then we'll pull messages out the bag and look at the divination dice and the charms. What does this person really want you to know? I can't sleep at night because I'm worried about our connection. How do we make it work? So yeah, that sums it up perfectly. They're having sleepless nights. It's like they're overthinking things. They're creating these worst case scenarios in their mind. And it's like they even have some kind of awareness that their own thoughts are kind of sabotaging things, but then sometimes they get lost in those thoughts. They don't know, they don't realize that their thoughts are kind of taking over. They're constantly stressing. They don't feel safe in some kind of way, and it's triggering a lot of fear of them being trapped. I feel you're always my number one and always will be. So yeah, this person may have a wandering eye. They may feel like the grass is greener on the other side. They may have these kind of fantasies about other people because it's a form of escapism. Or they may feel like you're not meeting some of their needs in certain ways. So they're having these daydreams or fantasies, or in some cases it could be that they are having a third party situation. So they're not fully committing to you, they're not fully committing to the other person. I miss what we had in the past. I often reminisce about those times. So yeah, And this person does a lot of thinking, a lot of reminiscing, a lot of daydreaming, very much stuck in their thoughts rather than being truly present. I am a mess. I don't even know how to love myself or have a healthy relationship. So yeah, this person does have a realization that they've got some problems that they need to resolve, but they don't know how to. It's like their mind gets in a mess. It's like they're trying to figure out, is your connection healthy or isn't it? Or is it going to be healthy for them or isn't it? So they're focusing a lot on what they want, what they need. And it may be distracting them from the fact that they need to also think a bit more about your needs, I feel. You're the first thing I think of when I wake up, and the last thing I think of before I go to sleep. So yeah, again, thinking. A lot of the time now I think it's fearful thinking. There's too many obstacles right now. So they want to make things work with you, but they're worried that there's just too many misunderstandings or too many obstacles and complications. So that's creating a lot of doubts within them. I don't know why, but I always doubt your love for me. So they may feel as though certain things you say or do are hurtful to them, even though you don't intend them to be in many cases. But it makes them feel unloved. But then at other times, you make them feel absolutely incredible. So I feel like this is why they're on the fence. You make them feel amazing in certain ways, but then they're being very triggered and feeling hurt, and they feel like you're being hurtful, and they're kind of making you responsible for their feelings, but they feel like you could be a bit more mindful of their emotions in some kind of way, or their needs. So that's why they're like really confused. They don't want to dive head in because they keep getting stuck in a place of uncertainty, and they don't want to get trapped in making the wrong decision if they commit to you and then they regret it, kind of thing. These messages are sounding quite harsh. It felt safer to live in a daydream. I was scared of getting hurt. So yeah, daydreaming, thinking, kind of living out your connection from afar, being emotionally unavailable. Felt safer for them. That was their way of keeping that safe distance. I grew up with bad role models. I have no clue how to love you like you deserve. So whatever they're going through, it's a learned pattern. It's a conditioned pattern. So let's look at the I love you to the moon and back cards. What do they really want you to know? Because the love was instant, I couldn't trust it. I wondered how much of me you actually loved. So again, there's distrust here. Again, it's like they had these doubts. Again, it's thoughts. They're worried that you don't actually love the real them. They may feel like you have some unrealistic expectations of them and you're kind of blinded by your wounding. And they're thinking maybe you don't really love them, you're just wanting them to fulfill those childhood needs, inner child needs. Do you still love me? I lied to you because I was scared of losing you, but I had karma to settle elsewhere. So yeah, this could be they went in a different direction. Maybe they chose someone else. Maybe they cheated on you as a form of like escapism. Or it could be that they're just wearing a mask and making out that they're fine, but you're sensing that they're not, but they're not communicating that to you, so they're kind of lying to you in that way. Do you love me, or are you just seeking my approval because of some childhood wound? So yeah, that's what I was just saying. I can't stop thinking about you. Again, thinking. Lots of thinking. So what messages do they have for you from the messages from the Divine Masculine cards? I'm here for you. So they are trying to be there for you. It's like, in some cases they may physically be there for you, but emotionally they're elsewhere, or they're in their comfort zone. Or it could be the other way around, they're not there for you physically, but from afar they kind of are. But there's some kind of safe distance they're creating. My heart is opening, so that's good. It's like their walls are beginning to melt. They're beginning to allow you in. So this is boiling down to self-esteem issues. I am good enough. So they're really starting to realise that. And that is allowing them to have a much more open heart and allow them to get closer to you. I just want to be happy. So I feel like they are just going to go for it. They don't want to overthink things anymore. They're realising that most of their pain and distress is caused by their own thoughts. So I feel like they're going to really just go for it and stop overthinking things. Thank you. So they're grateful for you. They're grateful for the patience that you've had with them. Let's pull some messages out of the bag next. Heaven on earth. So yeah, this is a multi-dimensional connection. You know each other from the higher realms. And so this connection is bridging the gap between the 3D and the 5D and beyond. They're feeling this amazing meaning in their life because you're connecting them to the divine. They are very scared of losing you. Safer in the status quo. So yeah, if you've had some sort of unhealthy dynamic where there's been walls up, so this person isn't fully available, isn't fully present, it's because they felt safer behind those walls. Impossible. At times they felt like it's impossible to overcome the obstacles or the misunderstandings, and they just like throw their hands up and want to give up kind of thing. But they want you back. It's like this push and pull thing. They feel like they need distance, but then they want to get closer. Okay, so let's look into the divination dice. The book. This always reminds me of the Akashic records. So this is like you have this triggering is happening for a reason. It's written in your soul contract that certain things are going to happen for awakening. But I feel like it's annoying this person. They just want an easy life. They want an easy relationship, and it's not like that. So they're getting fed up. They're kind of blaming you at times for it, when it's just part of the soul contract. The rainbow. So this is healing. Healing is happening on a deep energetic level. That's the one I never know what it is. What do you think that is? is that? I'll pull out something else. The Troll. Or the Ogre. Reminds me of Shrek. I always mention that when I see that one. Shrek. It's like he has to change his ways. Shrek is like grumpy and stubborn, and it needs to have a healthy compromise. This person may be stuck in their old ways. The Magic Bean. So yeah, they're wanting growth. This, you know, this connection is a blessing in disguise. There is a lot of triggering, but there is a lot of growth in the connection as well. And it may just, this person may think, oh, it's just these beans, but they don't realise how magical the connection is. It's because they're kind of looking at things pessimistically at times. So they're missing like the blessings. Yeah, they can't see the wood for the trees. So let's see what charms are going to come out for you today. It's ironic, like when a relationship isn't like this fantasy, daydream, easy connection all the time. Often, you know, that means it's one of the realistic relationships that there is. A lot of learning, a lot of growth, a lot of compromise, not that fantasy. This person may have a fantasy or expectations about how relationships should be, and they feel like this connection isn't living up to that when there's all the problems. But like I said, this is like one of the most realistic relationships that this person's ever been in. So yeah, I'm fine. This person's like dying inside, or this person's in a dark place. This person's going through a lot of difficulties. This is like the death of their overactive mind, but it's fighting back at times. The ego tries to fight until the death kind of thing. But you're sensing that they're down, you're sensing that they've got these fears, and they're just not telling you, because on the surface they're trying to make out that they're fine. There's two people outside. So this person may be an introvert. They may like to keep themselves to themselves. They may feel like you're trying to get too close to them, overstepping the boundaries at times, and that's why they're afraid of losing themselves. And then it sort of spirals them into this thought patterns of just being really fearful that you're like going to be overbearing, and they're not going to be able to stand their ground, and they're going to lose themselves in the process. So this person's very much clams up in their shell. There's a camera here. They may be into photography, or they may be looking at your social media. They may be communicating to you through photos or reminiscing about photos of you together, because we also have the I love you heart locket. And lockets are traditionally where you put photos of the people that are very dear to you in them, and then you wear it close to your heart. So it could very much be reminiscing, looking at old photos. There's a plane here. It may be a long distance relationship for some of you. The plane could be very specific in some kind of way. There's a kitten here. Kittens or cats are known for being very independent and stubborn. They do things on their terms. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.